Nik Bowers, and I'm thrilled to be here today. I am one of those rare people that loves middle school, and I help parents navigate the middle school years without losing their minds. I have been a teacher, principal, coach, and a professor from elementary to graduate programs, and I've empowered teachers and students to excel. With decades of experience, I have seen it all, the highs, the challenges, and those pivotal moments of growth for both parents and tweens. Now, as a parent coach, author, speaker, and course creator, I've launched an exclusive membership for parents tackling middle school for this upcoming school year. I believe parenting isn't about doing more, but shifting focus to empower kids to do more for themselves. Nobody should be doing middle school alone, and I'm going to invite you to do middle school with me. Now today, when we talk about empowering tweens, the teacher in me has to break it down a little bit. Power is the ability to do something, and empowering them means to give them the authority to do it. I have worked with thousands of parents, and I see the fear, the guilt, and the lack of knowledge of how to do it often stops them from truly empowering their children. We must teach our children how to do something so that they can, and then we must give them the authority to do it. Now, I want you to take a look at the brain images here. The yellow is less developed and the blue is more developed. Did you know that adolescence is the second fastest growing time of brain development besides toddlerhood? So much is happening to their brains between 12 and 16. So I want you to think of your child's brain from ages 12 to 16 like a garden. Right now, it's a patch of land of full potential. If you plant seeds of logic and thinking skills and take the time to water and care for it, by the time they're 16, you're going to have a garden full of healthy and strong plants. The kind of plants that are going to help them make better decisions like driving safely. Not perfectly, but much more confidently and wisely. But what happens if we don't pay attention to the garden? It still grows, but it's likely to be overrun with weeds. Have you ever been so overwhelmed by a flower bed with so many weeds that it was hard to find the beauty of the flowers growing alongside them? That is what happens during this time. Sometimes it's hard to find the beauty in the mess. If your child's mind isn't encouraged to develop those crucial skills during this time, it will fill up with less helpful habits that are hard to change later on. The brain grows, but how you grow it is up to you. I have been working with students, faculty, and parents for decades, and a human nature always wants a quick fix. Let's lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. How can I get my failing grade up in 1 week? I waited to study for the test until the last minute. Why did I fail? Growing kids and parenting is not about quick fixes. It's about starting with the end in mind and developing the things nobody sees to get them to where they need to be. True character is built when nobody is looking. So I want to shift your focus. We need to use both a telescope and a microscope in our approach. Let's start with a telescope. Believe in your child's ability to do great things, even through the mistakes, the attitudes, the eye rolls, and the snarkiness. They want to be seen and understood. Look beyond the surface to develop the core character you want your child to have as an adult. So let me give you an example. I see you putting in the work and effort to get better at lacrosse. I know you don't always see the results, but keep your head down because great things will happen. What are some wins that you've had lately from doing this extra work? Or I saw how you were getting ready to lose it and you brought yourself down. Wow! I see adults that do not know how to do that. Well done. In my membership and course, the first lesson is for families to determine their individual and family values. As adults, we often tell our kids what their values are and rarely ask them what and who they want to become. I'm not talking about what do you want to be when you grow up. We need to ask a better question. Who do you want to become? Who do you want to become from the inside out? And then we need to listen when they tell us. Middle schoolers detest being told what to think. So this gives them the power to say what they value. This is who I am, and this is who I want to be. And parents get really super nervous when they think their child's going to think differently from them. But with values, there isn't a right or wrong answer. You're looking at honesty, self-respect, kindness, adaptability, respect, resilience, compassion, humility. So every family that does this is amazed by the conversations that take place. One family just said to me, "We had such a great discussion, we have to continue it later." It was a conversation where it helped us all focus on more important things, and our kids get a say in who they become. Once they do this, the values become their compass and their anchor. Let me give you some examples. One of your values is courage. What are some things that you've been doing that reflect that lately? And then a final one, I know one of your values is kindness. Is this friendship helping you to grow this? We can hold them accountable and help them grow with the questions we ask, helping them to think, not us. The further we are from our values, the more we struggle, and our child's values are their compass and their anchor. This is who I am, and this is who I want to be. In 2020, a child-led research project shared insights on adult decisions and the role of school. And they found this. Children feel adults expect them to know everything, yet kids understand that everyone makes mistakes. In family relationships, what we think we're doing sometimes and what we're actually communicating can be different. Not only do children struggle with communicating, but we do too. I have found that communication is a critical skill that we can grow alongside our children. And as we teach them, we must also be teachable. Teach them skills, allow them to practice, and let them fail. And instead of quick fixes to keep them quiet, invest in their future by guiding them through challenges. Once we've used the telescope, then we have to get to the nitty-gritty. We need to use the microscope. I've worked with thousands of students in my career, and one of their biggest complaints when they are in middle school is that parents communicate with them like this. Stop it. Be respectful. Get good grades. Just stop. Be nice. They just are supposed to know. Being a parent isn't just about fixing problems as they come up. It's about understanding why your child is acting a certain way in the first place. You have to dig deep to find out the why, and then ask yourself this big question. What skills do they need to learn? True behavior change takes time to grow and learn for the future. I want you to see how I do not tell as I model this. I ask, and I think that is top-level teaching and parenting. I want to empower my children to be able to think through issues when I'm not with them. When I tell them what to think and what to do, they're not thinking. I am. I need them to know the thinking processes so they can be empowered to take control of their processes and their life. Let's look at respect. These are typical behaviors that parents deal with. Lashing out, arguing nonstop, ignoring requests, eye-rolling or sighing, interrupting conversations, name-calling or insults, and just defiance. We want to get this kind of behavior. Expressing yourself calmly, positive body language, listening, then replying, communicating needs, cooperation. How do we get away from the disrespectful behaviors to the respectful ones? Yelling and punishment doesn't teach or help them to learn. True character takes time and practice. Step 1, I look at one behavior I want to stop. I watch it and I document it for a couple days to show the pattern. I list the facts on my phone, so when everyone's calm, I do a tad of teaching and I have my child look at the facts. I noticed that you're struggling with some things, and I took some time to write them down. Tell me what you see. Another way I ask is, what do you think the problem is? How do you think it's impacting you and others? And what can we do to stop this? I'm putting this on them, but saying we, because we are going to work on this together. Step 2, they choose the behavior they work on. Depending on what they say, then you kind of fill in the blanks. But when I do this, my body language is calm, cool, and collected. We have a saying in our house that feelings are not right or wrong, they just are. But you cannot hurt yourself or others with those feelings. We have to learn to recognize our anger, step back, reset ourselves, and learn some coping skills. We also need to learn how to communicate how we feel and find solutions to the problem. We teach in the calm and not in the chaos. I then list the skills that they're going to need to learn to stop this. And I ask them, which one do you think we need to work on first? and then we focus just on that one behavior. And when they do it, I praise them specifically. And when they do not, I actually just respond by saying, well, that didn't go as planned. Next time, we're gonna have to do better. It's so much easier to hold them accountable for one behavior at a time. When that behavior is learned and is demonstrated consistently, then you move on. And slowly, you watch the garden grow. This is what I help parents do in my parenting membership. When this happens at home, it is a game changer for everybody. My daughter gave me permission to share this story. My oldest daughter's social skills lagged behind her academic skills in middle school, which is pretty normal for many kids. She could hold amazing conversations with adults, but struggled with peers. She valued having one loyal friend, even if the friendship wasn't the healthiest. Our family dinners were filled with thoughtful questions and conversations, but transferring those skills to peers was really challenging for her. Her brain just wasn't ready to think that way. Lacrosse became her passion, and she started lifting weights, becoming stronger, and making incredible friends outside of school. Her social skills began to blossom, so exciting, until junior year. Her junior year brought some social mistakes and exclusion due to girl drama and a she said incident. Leading to isolation, she was told, the entire school hates you. How do you guide your child through this? Discussions with the administration didn't really go anywhere, and it was heartbreaking every day. Eventually, the drama ended, but the silence from her classmates stayed. And despite having an athletic scholarship and great friends outside of school, we begged her to switch schools. She was determined to not let them win. We came back daily to her values. She had them in her head. She had to fight daily to listen to her classmates or listen to herself and remember who she was. It was a long year, and I didn't know if I was making the right choices. I had to trust myself and her. And let me tell you what happened. At the end of her senior year, every one of those girls were sitting in my kitchen eating dinner. My daughter modeled strength, dignity, and forgiveness. And she also learned who she was through it. At her school, seniors gave speeches at the end of the year if they wanted. And I did not think she would do that, but she did. And in the end, in the last final paragraph, this is what she said. I began to believe people when they called me names, made fun of my interests, and told me how awful I was and how the whole school hated me. I believed them because I was insecure. But now I understand that their words stemmed from their own insecurities and the fact that maybe I wouldn't date them, neither of which are my problem. Now I'm confident, strong, and I don't care what people say because that is not my concern. Think what you want, hate me, like me. I can't control your opinions. I know who I am, and I will honor and embrace that. She will tell you that for her, bullying worked because at the end of the day, she had to fight to see her own value. But it was the work that we did in middle school that built that strong foundation, and she applied those lessons in high school. Now let's go back to the brains, to the 12-year-old brain and the 16-year-old brain. How will you begin empowering your child today to grow the skills needed for a resilient future? Every tween and parent relationship is unique and different, but you don't have to navigate this journey alone. I am personally inviting you to join me in my membership program for individual support, guidance, and a healthy dose of humor. It is time to step over your fear, guilt, and doubt to empower your tween to thrive at this critical time. Follow me on Instagram for some daily tips. I'm also excited to be back working with schools to create a supportive environment of healthy relationships for all kids. Are you ready? Let's do middle school together.